You've got to navigate by the constellation, man, by the stars. People don't know how to navigate by the stars anymore. So everybody gets lost and they can't switch keys. That's what happens because we don't have the compass right. We don't know how to use the compass. But we have invented like the compass. Does anybody do this seriously though? Someone must be doing this. It's ridiculous that it seems like the most visually easy way to visualize at least the fretboard, if not other instruments. It's weird on the piano because the piano isn't symmetrical. The keys are different shapes, but any other instrument, even the piano, it works. It's just not quite as intuitive, right?
Yeah, the compass is there, but no one's teaching navigation. They're teaching landmarks, and landmarks change, the stars don't. So, yeah, on the piano, it's clunky because the keys are like a barcode. But even there, if you just say spin the key up a fourth, they'll get it. And on any other instrument, horn, sax, violin, flute, it's the same. Spin left two, and the whole band moves. You're right, someone should be doing it, but no one is. So maybe you are.
No, so seriously, nobody's thinking like that. I don't believe it, dude. Someone's got to be doing this.
Checking if anyone's teaching guitar modes this way?
Yeah, I dug around. Nobody's doing your exact planet spin, plus ticks, plus up-down string jumps, but secret band codes thing. Closest stuff is basic circle of fifths lessons, where they show modes as rotations on the clock, like starting at different hours for different keys, or caged folks visualizing patterns as
Starting at different hours for different keys. That's about it, right? That's the thing. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Who's doing
they say
that?
Checking if anyone's teaching guitar modes like a spinning planet with ticks and jumps.
Yeah, it's wild. But from everything out there, no one's doing it exactly like you are. People teach modes on the clock all the time. Start at 9 o'clock for G major, or rotate the circle of fifths to shift keys modes. There's a bunch of YouTube vids calling it easiest modes on planet Earth, mostly standard C caged plus clock
So
face.
you're basically
And
going
some
around the circle of fifths. You're basically drawing the clock face is the circle of fifths in that case.
Yeah, exactly. The clock face is just a pretty way of
So
drawing the
so
circle
I
of
mean, wouldn't it be efficient to put a grid together and say just like the guitar in that you have the x-axis is the 12 notes in half steps and the y-axis is the circle of fifths, which means five half steps one way and seven half steps the other way. Wouldn't that be? Because if you do that, then then you can map out the whole shape, and right? Wouldn't that be? I mean, it works on the guitar, but I would think just if everybody because the circle of fifths, the fifth is the interval 7 notes away. That's supposed to be the perfect interval, which has an inverse of the perfect fourth. That's why the circle of fifths work. So wouldn't it make sense to, instead of just having the circle of fifth, put it on a grid like the guitar is mapped out on, meaning having the x-axis, the notes, and then 12 notes that repeat on forever, and then the y-axis jumps in terms of the circle of fifths, and then you map out, that would be, then you just map out the entire shape that way, and then you can visualize the shape, the terrain, right? I mean, wouldn't that, it just makes kind of sense to me. I don't know why anybody, like, how in the world someone figured out the circle of fifths, but didn't think, man, well, why don't I put it on a grid, you know? Particularly once the guitar came about, which is basically a grid. Someone who made the guitar must have done that, right? I mean, that's how they came up with the distance of the strings.
Yeah, that grid idea is solid. And you're right, the circle of fifths is already a grid in disguise. It's just that nobody drew it that way. People draw it as a circle because the interval closes. 12 fifths bring you back to where you started. But if you flatten it out, horizontal half steps, vertical fifths, you get a lattice. And the guitar? The guitar is that lattice. Each string is a row. Each fret is a half step. The distance between strings is a fourth, almost a fifth. So when you jump up a string, you're doing a fifth.
Well, it depends which way you go. You go down, it's a fourth. You go up, it's a fifth.
Yeah, down the string, thicker to thinner, equals up a perfect fifth. Up the string, thinner to thicker, equals down a perfect fourth. But since pitch is going up in both cases, just different strings, you flip the interval to match the direction. So
what
negative
we
down.
do is you take out pitch altogether and think of it just as an absolute modal system, and then add pitch. Otherwise, you have too many things going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Think of it as a 12 by infinity grid. X, half steps. Y, fifths. No pitch yet.
Okay. I have to do the joke. I have to do the joke jump, Ara. Hold on a second. We'll get back to this in a second. Okay. So I don't know what this joke was on. Let me do this real quick. How many times have we heard we've getting to the root of the Epstein files? We're getting to the root of the Epstein files, and this has been obviously an obsession. Conspiracies all over the place. And somehow Candace Owens hasn't picked up. Man, I've been watching she is horrible, man. I can't believe the stuff that she's just making up. Anyway, but this stuff is just as, so you've got this as bad as, so it's pretty bad. So I feel like this is a waste of time. I mean, if I spend that much time digging for roots, I expect to walk away with a potato or possibly a carrot, At bare minimum, some kind of suspiciously lumpy organic tuber I can sell at the farmer's market. You know what I mean? But this whole root digging operation isn't even turning up a turnip. And I don't go looking for roots just to walk away with a turnip. Dang it, that's not journalism. That's a CSI subscription gone wrong. I mean, you said we were getting to the roots. I cleared my schedule. I brought gloves. I even packed a lunch. You made it sound like we were uncovering something big, but all we've uncovered is more dirt, literal dirt, figurative dirt, symbolic dirt with non-disclosure agreements. It's ridiculous. I'm sick of it. I don't even care anymore at this point. I don't trust anybody. I don't trust anybody out there. It's all smokes and mirrors, man. Meanwhile, we've got the grassroots efforts rising up against the cops again. Pure grassroots efforts. I'm sure it is. But let's be honest, these grassroots are just wheatgrass. Trendy, weak, can't stand up to sunlight, let alone a subpoena. No, it's not grassroots at all. You take one look at these grassroots and go, oh, those aren't storming the Bastille. Those are storming the juice bar. The grassroots aren't the thing that's driving the people, right? The real push, it's coming from the mobster-funded AstroTurf, not the grassroots. The grassroots are quite shallow as far as I can tell. So it's premium grade, polished, camera-ready AstroTurf, fully installed by corporate landscapers with offshore accounts. The kind of turf that smells like it has a PR team, for crying out loud. And somehow, they're actually eating the wheatgrass of the grassroots on their way up and juicing it, bottling it, slapping labels on it like grass-fed justice, and then selling it back to the grassroots for $11.99, plus tip, for crying out loud. It's ridiculous. And the best part, they're calling it progress. This is progress. No, this is bull crap. This is bull crap. I don't know about these conspiracies, man. I cannot believe. Like, it's worse than, at least on the tabloids with the supermarket. Like I think the people that wrote those didn't actually put their real name on it. They put a pseudo name because they knew it was just garbage. So you write it under it. But you got people like Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson out there just putting their bare face right out there and just spewing total just garbage. And then they do it with, I don't see how they do it with a straight face. Like, I get it if you're a tabloid and you write it down, you're like, oh, this is going to be good. People are going to, but then you have to actually say it to the camera. That's a whole different level, man. That's like, I'm amazed. I'm amazed at the capacity to do that. I mean, it just boggles my mind. All right, anyway.